So the verse of the day is, "For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things He planned for us long ago." And this is Ephesians 2 10. Um, so we are His workmanship, and there the question is, what might God be preparing for you to take part in today? So, reflecting on being the masterpiece that God has created us to be, there are three answers to this question. You could be served. Could God be using you to serve in ministry? Could God be using you to selflessly encourage someone? Or could God be using you um, it means to advocating for people facing hardship? So, my answer would be advocating for people facing hardship. And both of these questions can go two and two, because advocating people um, facing hardship can also be encouraging others selflessly, doing selfless acts to encourage other people to stand up for what they believe in, um, to be who they are, and um, not be afraid. So, what I am going to go to next is my journey of singlehood. If I can get to it, let me see. So, single and flourishing, finding um, joy and fulfillment in singleness. I am on my last um, day, building meaningful connections. Single and flourishing, finding joy and fulfillment in singleness. So, trusting in God's timing. So the verse to reflect on for anyone, single and trying to find that sense of patience in God's timing. We are going to reflect on verses 11 and 1 from Eclid. I don't know this word. Ecclesiastes. Yeah, verses 3 and 11 and 1. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Um, how can I surrender my desires and dreams to God and trust that His plan for me are greater than I can imagine, especially when it comes to relationships and companionship? To this question, I said by focusing on now what I have in front of me without worrying about what is out of my control. So, in good timing, you know, there will be a person that comes into my life, but it's on me not to expect that person to be who God has sent for me because, you know, when you expect something, you get your hopes high, and it's really hard to come down from that place. So when you expect something to happen, it's best not to get your hopes too high about the situation because that person can just be coming and going just for a moment, just to you know, provide some healing or to add to the situation so that um you can become stronger in facing your day-to-day challenges. In what ways can I use this season? That this is question 2. When doubts or impatience arise, how can I turn to God in prayer and seek his comfort and guidance, knowing that he understands my longings for companionship? When I become impatient, I can carry on with the daily activities as usual, becoming humble to knowing that there's a time for everything and everyone, including me. So, that was question 3. When doubts and impatience arise, how can I turn to God in prayer and seek his comfort? You know, just be comfortable when what's that thing? When you become when something you become comfortable in with being uncomfortable. So at times when you are feeling uncomfortable, um yeah, just become uncomfortable. I mean, just be find comfort in that uncomfortness. Um, Carry on to with what you're doing. If you got to go to the store, go to the store. If you got to your laundry, do your laundry. If you want to go ahead and read a book, watch a movie, find something that'll take your mind off of what you're asking for, because what you're asking for the answer will come in due time. So with the time that you have been given, it's on you to go ahead and take no mind to what you're asking or your prayer, and just let it go. And when you let it go, it'll come back to you in some type of form. In one way or another, it'll return back to you. So just, you know, do what you do, carry on. Go look up a recipe, cook you something, just take your mind away. Go, I think you get the point. Go out with your friends, have a good time. Just know that in due time, God will answer your prayer. Um, you can, and hold on, number 2 is. Did I say that was number 2 or number 3? We're gonna just cancel out the numbers. Okay, so this question: in what ways can I use? And thank God, discovering my truth. In what ways can I use this season of singleness to focus on deepening my relationship with God, discovering my true identity in Him, and pursuing my passions for personal growth and preparation? When I become impatient, I can carry on with my daily activities as usual, becoming humble to knowing that there is a time for everything and everyone, including me. Another way that you can, um, I feel like I'm getting these questions all mixed up. So, another way you can deepen your relationship with God and discovering your true identity and pursuing your passions, personal growth, and preparation. You can do this by exercising your spirit just as you would the body, and replace um your passions for self with the passion for faith. So like if you're going out to exercise and you're going to, a fitness center and you're working on your muscles, doing ab workouts, going to the recreation department, or center, and you're playing basketball, you're going to swim, you're doing all these different activities. Just as you would exercise the body, you have to exercise the spirit the same way. Just as going and, doing mental exercises, you're reading, you're going out and preaching, you're going out and teaching, you're going out and just doing things to stimulate the mind. Just as you would do exercise your mental, you would go ahead and do those same exercises with the Bible and your faith. Exercise your faith so that it can become just as strong as your body and your mind. Okay, so number 4. How can I remind myself that God's plans for my life extend beyond my relationship status, and that He has a unique purpose and calling for me during the season of singleness? Okay, so God's plans for myself extend beyond my relationship status, and He has a unique purpose and calling for me during this season of singleness. I can remind myself daily by focusing on the challenges that I've been dealt with. As sitting at a table with cards in my hand, I have to focus on and to identify with each card. I have to put myself in a certain position to understand that each card belongs to a certain suit, and therefore levels and there and there are levels that each suit belongs to. When the time um when the time is right, I will know, but until then, I have to continue to focus on what is in front of me, strategizing my plans until my time comes. And then I will be prepared to deliver or be delivered to the one um God has for me, but also understanding that maybe what God has for me has already been given. And it's for me to maintain, to be committed, faithful, and obligated to my role as a mother who has a child and isn't um, looking for anything more than his or her parent to be there. And maybe so should I not look to find, but see or be where I am. So that's kind of like not getting your hopes up too high. Like maybe, me being single, it's a reason that I'm single. Um, so therefore I'm not really whatever I'm looking for. I shouldn't be, doing too much looking. Vontae, go close that refrigerator. I shouldn't be looking too hard for anything when I have, I already have something here that I'm supposed to be maintaining. I got to give that undivided attention to my situation and where I am, and what's for me will be for me whenever that time comes. So yeah, I had that was the um lesson for today. Trusting God's timing in my time of singleness. And the verse that, in this time, that verse kind of relates to the situation because you can, in this time, God can be creating you for, a certain purpose. You're single, so don't look at your singleness as, I'm unworthy, I'm lacking in one way or another. Why is this happening to me? Why me? Don't look at it as that. Just look at it as you're being created for that specific person. Everyone has their preference. Every man has their preference. Every woman has their preference. So maybe this is the time that God is creating, and God is answering the prayers of those and reflecting these prayers onto you to create who to create you to that person's liking, so that this person or that person now has, a partner that they want, um and likes, and that partner that they asked for. So that was the verse of the day, and that was the lesson for singleness. I actually had I have been feeling some type of way emotionally, going through something because I have been, basically, people, have been attacking me, critics and whatnot. To address exactly what I'm going through on this specific social platform, and it's really been kind of overwhelming me, making me feel bad about who I am as a person. And I feel like they're kind of blocking me from my creativity because they are just, going and dissecting my work and telling me like my sources are from, this and that, when it's supposed to be, no matter where your source comes from, it's supposed to spark the creativity that's inside of you. So that's what I'm going through right now. People just, they just keep freaking, attacking my work and saying that um I am played I'm basically committing plagiarism or something like that. That's what one person said, but it's not even about that. That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna show a few of the posts that I have made. So this is one post, and this is prompt sharing. So you can, in this site, it's all about, what is a prompt. A prompt is an exercise, to exercise your mind, just as I was talking about, extra mental exercises, ways to, build your mind up. This is what that is. And you can use like different prompts. I mean, you can use, it's a prompt site, but you can use different resources to reflect on what you're doing. I mean, what you're trying to say, like images, all of these different things. So this is one image that I went with. This woman is, she's throwing up, and what's coming out of her is love. So I used that to reflect on, how I was feeling inside at the time. And the um I guess one critic just kept saying, let me see. Let me, I gotta find her. This is what she was saying. So it's like, she took my photo and then she circled where else this photo was at. So I'm just like, that's not the purpose of the group. You can go out and you can find my material. You can go out and you can look for everything that I post and try to make something out of it when it's really nothing, because that's not what it's for. It's really, like I said, it's for getting out your reaching deep into you as a person and getting that out, reflecting on something to re you know to get those creative juices flowing. That's what the purpose of this for. So she took my image, and she ain't the only one. Well, yeah, I think, well, yeah, she's not the only one that did it, but this is she affected me the most, because it's like, when people take your passion and they make something out of it. It's like, you're not only attacking, that where the resource that I got it from. You're not only attacking that, but you're attacking me, because I put a lot into what I had to say. I put a lot into, you know, I put a lot into my work, period. So it's like, you going out and you doing other things. This is what triggers people. This is what, this discourages people. Just other people doing stuff like this and attacking you, where it hurts the most. Because, like I said, stuff like this is where my heart is. Art is where my heart is. So just because I don't create what's out there, I don't create the image, I don't create the illustration, but my words are just as powerful as an illustration. So when I take it and I use it, you know, you can put the resource, but and on this certain platform, you don't have to. It's not about the resource. It's just about unlocking your potential. That's what this platform is for. And, this is a place where I'm going to have to, walk away from. And I really don't want to, because like this has, this has been something that's been building me up. When I was in a part, I was at a point where I just couldn't, get creative. I lost my sense of self. This is a place where I turned to, because, it helps me. And like I said, it's so hard. Um, it's so hard not wearing your heart on your sleeve. It's so hard, vulnerability, walking out or stepping out mentally, walking out physically, you just got to have your guard up. And, this place, I guess I didn't have my guard up too high. Um, because they came and they came and attacked my heart and attacked my words. And like I said, just her saying that I'm plagiarizing material, and I'm not. And there was a point where she said my words wasn't real. Basically, she's making it seem like everything that I'm doing is fake, and it's not. And that's what it's like. It comes to a point where you feel like you have to prove yourself, you know to other people. And that's what I'm saying. It came to that point where I was about to, but I just reflected back to where I've been put in situations where I did have to prove myself. And I'm like, I'm not about to prove myself to nobody. I know the truth, and I know, what I do, and nothing about me is fake. Period. That there's nothing about me that's fake. I'm real with everything I do. And when you're real about something, that's the weakness. You're so real. It's just like people that, think and assume things that's fake about you. They have a lot of they begin to have that power over you, because you know the truth, and what they're thinking is false. So it's like it creates this tension. So Yeah, that's basically what I'm going through right now. It's just like it's taking everything out of me not to react in a way where I feel like where I'm putting myself down just for this person to come up. You know, on this site, I am one of the top um I'm at the top. Um I'm top ranked on this one, so that's why it feel like I'm, competing with everyone else that's not on my level. So, seeing like she is so freaking immature, like she just keep coming at me, like just to get a reaction. She was like, so who is the true author of this prompt and who created this? I was like, I'm the author, but unfortunately, the illustration just seems to matter more, I guess. And then she was like, and then I said, can you define prompt for me? And she said, in this context, I mean to convey a set of illustrations to a learning language model that will instruct the model to produce a desired outcome based on the interpretation or its interpretation. And she was like, my words, basically like those words meant something. I'm just okay. And I was like, yeah, your opinion, but what are you implying that these aren't my words? Stop disrespecting me and back off. Some people are gifted in one area of or another. So stop blocking, stop judging, and stay off my post. If you are here to encourage, support, or even just listen, if you're not here to do those things and just go away because you are annoying, I don't fight over the internet. So what's out of your control, leave it alone. And then she was like, okay, calm down. Others claim to have been posted, basically trying to take the fault off of herself. But at the same time, she was like, the definition wasn't an opinion. It was the definition. It appears that you're only gifted in some new form of plagiarism or digital intellectual art theft. I'm like, these are the type of things that just, that dims your light. And this is what she's trying to do. She's trying to dim my light, you know? So these are, the type of situations where I am facing, or anyone faces. This is a distraction from, progress or me moving forward from any other thing. Stuff like this can discourage you to where you just don't continue on doing what you set out to do to begin with, because people are very discouraging. They pick and they pick, and they just do it just to bring you down and break you down. um but you have to be stronger than that. And I feel like, I'm trying to be strong. I'm trying, but it's like when you come for me and you come for my heart, where my heart is, my creativity, who I am as a person, and you're saying I'm plagiarizing and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and it's not true. It's just, it's making me feel some type of way, honestly. It really is. But like I said, she's trying to bring me down. She's trying to bring down, everything that I built up. I had a lot of reactions, and I had a lot of likes and stuff on all of my posts. And I guess that's when they start, becoming real jealous, and they go to the extent of trying to make something out of nothing, trying to go and um find out, dig deep into your work, or and where it came from, and expose your work, just so that you lose your rank, you lose your place. And that's what she was doing. You can do anybody else that way, but when it comes to me, you're not going to do that to me, because I know who I am, and I know where my heart is, and you coming for me is like you're attacking my heart, period. And therefore I have to come for you now. And that's what's in me, that kind of, those reactions. I need to, just, I want to not take no mind to it, but at the time it took so much of my mind creating what I created, writing what I write and expressing what I express. It took so much time out of me to do those things. So it's like, when you can't put no mind to a situation that actually has your mind, it's it's impossible. So yeah, I am. There comes a time, like I just as we said, there's a time for everything, and I guess it's a time for me to leave that place behind. Time for me to step away, and it's so hard to step away from a place that where you gave, you were the most vulnerable, and you gave so much of your heart, and you gave so much of your time, and you gave so much of your mind. It's so hard to walk away from that. But just know, when you walk away, you have one thing. If it's not anything else, you have one thing. You have your spirit. So when you walk away, you have your spirit. So, they can take all of that. But as long as you walking away with your spirit is leading you away from these things, that's one thing you will always have with you. So yeah. Um Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will try to enjoy the rest of this day.